Hello and welcome to our Salesforce United episode, a podcast about Salesforce and people who work with it. Here we discuss engineering discoveries, professional secrets, and careers of our guests. I'm Olga Dmitrieva, a Salesforce software testing engineer, and to my delight, your host.
Hello, my name is Elena Ulyanova. I am a testing and Salesforce enthusiast, Salesforce consultant, and for my pleasure, the host of this Salesforce United podcast.
Today, we are excited to have Kimberly Small with us. She is an 8-time Salesforce certified developer and the founder of Skillshare Tech and Snap2Case. Kimberly moved from working as a Salesforce developer at companies to starting her own business where she creates CRM solutions that help organizations succeed. She's also passionate about helping others grow and reach their goals. Let's hear more about her journey and experiences. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hi, Kimberly. Nice to meet you. So today we, as usual, have a very interesting, great topic to discuss. Let's start from the very beginning. Can you please tell about yourself a couple of words, your career journey and how it is related to Salesforce?
So my tech career, it started back when I was in college working on my computer science degree. I had a job as a IT assistant at my university, and I was helping students with their technology issues. But I went to college to get my computer science degree because I had dreams of becoming either a video game developer or a traditional web developer. So when I graduated, I landed a web development internship. I had hopes that that internship would turn into a full-time web developer role, but it ended up turning into my first Salesforce developer role. Now, at the time, I had no idea what Salesforce was, but I did some trailheads and I gained some experience and I grew into the developer that I am today. I have 8 years of experience working in tech, where I've worked on different projects ranging from Salesforce implementations to data migrations, building out new features in existing Salesforce orgs, and integrating third-party applications with Salesforce. I have experience creating Lightning Web Components, Apex, flows, and other configurations in Salesforce. I typically wear multiple hats in my roles. So even though I am a Salesforce developer, I have experience with Salesforce administration, testing, and business analysis. And I even have some experience with some different tools and technologies that are available outside of the Salesforce ecosystem, such as ServiceNow and Python.
Actually, great experience. I wish I could have the same. But I would like to ask you a question. Could you please tell the audience what inspired you to make the transition from Salesforce developer working in a company to an independent Salesforce developer? Why did you decide to do it?
Yeah. So I have always had an entrepreneurial mindset. After working at different companies, I got to a point in my career where I just wanted something different. And I wanted full control over the projects that I work on and the clients that I work with. So I also wanted to learn more about business while also getting experience with different technologies that I didn't get a chance to work on during my time as an employee. So in 2023, I began brainstorming business ideas. I started watching a lot of entrepreneur videos on YouTube, and I also started reading a lot of books on business. And then I came up with my business name, Skillshare Tech. In 2024, I decided to start creating a business plan while also building out my app, Snap2Case, as a solo developer. I also filed for my LLC. And then in December of 2024, I made this huge decision to leave my last job so that I could first prioritize my mental health, but also focus on building out Snap2Case and my business full time. And so this year in 2025, I officially decided to become an independent Salesforce developer with a focus on consulting work and freelancing. And I've been on this journey for over 2 months.
Great. Let's proceed talking about businesses and probably every business have some challenges even in start using the different CRM. So as a Salesforce consultant, can you describe some of the typical challenges businesses encounter with Salesforce nowadays, and how have you helped businesses overcome these challenges?
So there are three main challenges that I see businesses typically encounter. The first one is whenever they want to fix or add new features to a bad Salesforce implementation that has a lot of technical debt. The second challenge is not having good business processes in place. And then that third challenge is just having a lack of documentation for existing functionality. There are even companies that have all three of these challenges, and that can definitely make things difficult. So for the first challenge, if I'm working in a Salesforce org that has a bad implementation, I will take note of any areas that may need improvement, and I'll let the business know that they need to clean up their code, or restructure a flow or something else along those lines. I will also do my part to clean up the technical debt as I make updates to existing functionality. So let's say that there's some code that I need to update and it was poorly written, and it wasn't optimized. I will go in and take some time to clean up that code and use best practices. For the second challenge, where there's not good businesses in place, this typically causes some issues. My view is that Salesforce only works if there are good processes in place, no matter if it's a regular business process or if it's the process of adding new features into Salesforce. So if I notice that there are some issues with the process, I will provide my recommendations on how the business can fix those processes. If the business accepts my recommendations, I will also work on implementing those process fixes in Salesforce. And when it comes to that third challenge of lacking documentation, I typically try to make sure that I understand existing functionality whenever I start working on new projects. So let's say that I need to build out new functionality for an existing process. I will take time to build out the missing documentation, and then I will make sure that I'm also creating new documentation for the new features that I build out. However, I will say that time and budget constraints can prevent me from being able to completely resolve these challenges.
You have already mentioned a little bit the challenges and how to cope with them. I would like to view the problem from another angle. Let it say like this. When selecting a Salesforce consultant, what key factors should business consider to select a good one?
Yeah, so let's say that a business is looking for a Salesforce developer. I would say that they need to get someone who's willing to understand how their business actually works and to understand those existing processes that are in place. They also need someone who understands how to write custom code, but also understands the out-of-box functionality that Salesforce offers. That developer would need to understand how to use or when to use the low code versus no code solutions, and understand when they need to write a lot of custom code. So there needs to be a balance there. And if the developer does need to write a lot of custom code, you need someone who is good at writing clean code and also knows how to document their processes.
Okay, so we discussed part of the business flows, how to work with them as a consultant, but you started as Salesforce developer, and you also work as Salesforce developer as well. In the situation when business already has the Salesforce as a CRM, what are some of the most frequent requests or needs you encounter from businesses regarding Salesforce development?
So businesses, they typically want more efficient ways to view their data and manage their processes in Salesforce. So I'm typically asked to either automate processes using Apex or by leveraging those low-code solutions like Flows. I might be asked to create Lightning Web Components to introduce new functionality or to just give a better view of data. I'm also asked to update existing Aura components and even Visualforce solutions. And then I'm also asked to work on integrating third-party tools, giving users more of a holistic view of their data right within Salesforce.
Okay, and if, for example, imagine that there is a company or a business that has never used Salesforce before as a CRM system, and they are considering using it. So what advice would you give to such kind of business? Not to waste their budget, time, etc.
Some of the advice that I would give is that they need to make sure that they have well-documented processes in place and also have data management practices in place as well. They need to make sure that they choose a good implementation partner who takes pride in building scalable and clean solutions, and a partner that also does a good job of documenting their work, and that the business needs to be realistic about the timeline and budget that's required to build out a well-built and scalable Salesforce implementation, because the business could go with one of those cheaper and faster implementations, but that will typically cost the business more money in the long run due to technical debt and having to fix that technical debt.
Okay, great. So based on your experience and different roles in Salesforce, you are an author of educational videos. So what motivated you to start creating these kind of videos for tech professionals, and what do you aim to achieve with this content?
So I've always been a fan of content creators. So I watch YouTube more than I watch TV nowadays. And I just wanted to create more engaging content for both the tech and Salesforce communities. I also wanted to help more women and minorities feel more comfortable learning how to code. So I decided to start my own channel, which is called Skillshot Tech. And I have the goal of making complex topics less intimidating by building out fun projects and also adding some humor and relatability to the content.
It's really great. Wish you proceed doing this great job, let's say like this. And I have already told while introducing you that you are the author of the Snap to Case, right? So
Right.
could you please tell us what is it and how it can be, where it can be accessed and who can use it?
So Snap to Case, it is an app that I created as a solo developer, and it's meant to streamline the error reporting and troubleshooting processes in Salesforce. So this app idea, it came from my frustrations of being assigned to errors in Salesforce without having enough information to actually troubleshoot the error. And some of that information could be screenshots of the errors or URLs to the record where the error occurred, or even who encountered the error. And so I didn't have that information, and I wanted to build out an app that would get all of that information for me. So I began building out the ideas for Snap to Case, which included using AI to automate some of the processes and also giving Salesforce professionals a better view of the errors that occur in Salesforce. So I had this app idea for a while, but I decided to build it after demoing a prototype of Snap to Case at a pitch competition last year, which was held at the Dreaming in Color conference. And luckily, I was one of the pitch competition winners. So that really influenced my decision to move forward with turning Snap to Case into a working application. And through that pitch competition, I won some free hours with a designer and some ISV specialists who helped me turn Snap to Case into a working application over the past year. And so the goal is to have Snap to Case on the Salesforce App Exchange within the next few months. Companies and Salesforce professionals who are having trouble with errors will be able to leverage Snap to Case, and I'll be posting some updates on LinkedIn regarding the upcoming release date.
Well, so multiple roles, including running a business, consulting, developing applications, and creating educational content. So how do you manage your time effectively?
So it definitely can get a little hectic, but I typically take a look at my task for the upcoming week, and I prioritize what needs to be completed the most. I have several calendars and reminder apps that help keep me on track. I use apps like ClickUp to keep track of my project task, and I'm using Notion to keep track of my content and video ideas. Whenever I'm traveling to different networking events, I might come up with ideas and solutions to projects that I'm working on. And so I make sure that I'm using my notes app on my phone or even a voice recorder app on my phone to quickly take those notes and those solutions down while I'm traveling and I'm away from my desk. And that helps boost my productivity. And then I just keep a list of my monthly goals that help me stay on track as well.
Okay, so that's great. As if they say, how do you manage to do everything? And you answer like, I don't manage to do anything at all. But I have another one question. It is related to the long-term goals. Let us say like this. If to dive deeper in this topic of time management and the goals accomplishment, so what are your future plans for your career and business?
So I want to continue building apps that not only help businesses, but also help professionals get the skills that they need to thrive in the tech industry. I want to get a bit more consistent with the content that I put out and get to a point where I am offering educational content at least once a week. And then I just want to expand Skillshare Tech so that I'm not only providing Salesforce services, but eventually providing services in other areas of tech as well.
Great. To sum up, what kind of advice would you give to someone inspiring to follow a kind of similar career path in the Salesforce ecosystem as you do?
So I have several pieces of advice. First, I would say always work on elevating your skill set. Get the experience that you need with new tools and technologies, even those that are available outside of the Salesforce ecosystem. That will help you to stand out in today's job market and also help you to move into entrepreneurship if you need to or if you want to. Also learn how to pivot whenever things don't go as planned. You want to continue moving forward no matter what. And then finally, just don't let anyone tell you what you can't do or that you can't achieve your goals. You need to have the confidence in yourself to do what you want to do, even when other people can't see your vision.
Kimberly, thank you for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. It was a great pleasure to have you here with us and to listen about your journey and the advice you gave to the audience. And it seems to me that you should have an assistant, definitely, to fulfill all that you wish to.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Kimberly, for sharing your experience and for this great conversation. And thank you, dear listeners, for being with us. As always, we will be very happy to receive any comments, questions, and ideas. And if you like the podcast, please rate it on the platform and share with friends. So till very soon, till the next interesting podcast, and stay tuned.
Until then, keep trailblazing. Goodbye.